Is this an AOC here?
No.
No.
It's an absolutely illegal wine, but it's a secret. Are you ready?
So I'm standing here in the center of Paris, in the area of Montmartre, surrounded by a vineyard. This is the Clos Montmartre. It is a small vineyard, an experimental vineyard, an illegal vineyard, here in the center of Paris that's been around since the 1930s. Not open to the public, except on a special tour. You get the opportunity to come here, taste a wine made from the property, and to experience, right in the heart of one of the biggest tourist areas in the world, a small vineyard. Unlike modern urban vineyards, this is a vineyard where the grapes are actually grown right here in the city, and where the vineyard is actually a part of the life of the city, part of the life of Montmartre, part of the life of Paris. It's also a vineyard that isn't exported anywhere outside of Paris and isn't really available anywhere inside of Paris or inside of France, except here for a special group that has the opportunity to tour this property. A collection of an unknown number of grapes, including many grapes that perhaps are no longer grown anywhere else in France.
The reason why this plot exists still nowadays, and it's so much protected by the surroundings here, and all the neighborhood is so proud of the place. Here on this white poster you have a French sentence, Fête des Vendanges, and that means Harvest Festival. And indeed, since 1934 here you have a fantastic party around this particular vineyard. And the reason for the vineyard here, it's due to a team job of artists, journalists, everyday people, and also mostly thanks to this guy here, Francisco Poulbot, who was a cartoonist, a very good guy who loved the hill. He arrived here as a young caricaturist, and he decided he would spend his whole life here. Just before the 1930s, they heard about the plot here transformed into a real estate project. So Victor Perrault and Le Vieux Montmartre organized a brainstorming, as we would say nowadays, with Poulbot, with the Republic of Montmartre, and what can we do to save the place for goodness sake? And what can you do in France to protect a plot? You plant a vineyard. And the project was accepted. They planted vines, and in 1934, first Harvest Festival. And since then, every year here, you have a Harvest Festival for charity purposes. And it's a fantastic story of solidarity. And you are looking at this video, and you are also nowadays a part of this chain of solidarity, because the association of Poulbot still exists, and the volunteers are making the wine, bottling the wine, sticking the stamps, and take part. And the entire hill here is part of the project. Formerly, Montmartre was such a humble and poor place. The hill has always been away from the big bourgeois and rich Paris you know and you visit nowadays. The big buildings like the Haussmannian Paris around the Opera, around the Louvre, has been kept away from the hill because the hill is high. And that's the reason why you still have this impression, and it's still a village with sneaky little narrow streets, with cobblestones. Forget your stilettos, it's not the right place. And you see, one of the charm and secrets of Montmartre are the hidden gardens. Everywhere here you have hidden gardens and lovely private townhouses all around you. And that's the reason why you hear the birds here. So now you understand why the artists and the population of Montmartre decided to react against this kind of project. And it was a good idea. The absolute star of the place here is Vincent. Vincent is the gardener, one only guy, one only angel to care here. So he's a gardener of the city of Paris, but he has been trained especially to prune, to treat the vines as they have to be. And it's thanks to his guy, his particular angel, that the association, a year after another, can produce the wine, sell the wine, and help the needy of the hill.
All right. So, what grapes are planted in this vineyard?
Alors, that's a huge question, because in 1933, when they decided to plant a vineyard in the middle of Paris, the guys here, they had no idea. There were artists, journalists, people like you and me, and they had no idea about the vineyard. But they were good drunkards, I suppose, celebrating life. And, they asked varieties from all around France. And in 1934, for the Fourth Harvest Festival, you had around 30 different varieties here, meaning it was not a vineyard, it was a mess. You understand that? And remember, 1934, it's just before 1935, the very year for the laws and regulation in France for appellations and, the DPO system. So they decided to plant whatever they could. So you have so many varieties. Pinot, Gamay, Chardonnay, Syrah, Gewurz, Klevner, all the varieties you can imagine. You also had forbidden varieties. You know that with the 1934 laws and regulation, some of varieties have been forbidden for the wine production, like Jacques, Othello, Noah, and they have been planted here also. So the enologist who manages the vineyard here doesn't know exactly which one is what for the old vines, but we're sure that there are some Noah here. And the Noah has a terrible reputation, maybe you know. The reputation of the Noah was to make people crazy, to turn people mad. And they cut the moment, because otherwise nobody is going to taste the wine with us after that.